We all set? Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Is there a motion to seal the executive session minutes from tonight?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And tonight, we did approve 10 homeschooling requests in executive session. It's now time for open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Come on up and say your name, please. No, the microphone's not on. There's a button you can push. Perfect.
Don't keep us up. Sorry. Hi, my name's Dennis, and this is my wife, Colleen Flynn, 217 Indian Trail. We're here tonight because you have on the agenda that Derek's going to be asking for another transportation vehicle. Our daughter, Tatum, is 18. She's repeating 12th grade at Narragansett, but she's at West Bay Collaborative in West Warwick. The reason we're asking for this is Tatum has been going to different places outside of the school since 6th, 7th grade. She has ADHD and anxiety and other issues. But when she gets picked up at 2 o'clock, and I've actually had to go from work in downtown Westerly to rush to get her to pick her up some days, because when she gets picked up at 2 o'clock, we live on Indian Trail. It's the last street in Narragansett before North Kingstown. Some days it's an hour and 45 minutes before she gets home. And for any child, that's a long time. For me as an adult, that's a very long time to be on a bus. They go from West Warwick on Route 2, they go up into Providence, then they come back by Tollgate, and then she gets dropped off. But for a child with those issues, to have to sit on a bus for an hour and 45 minutes when you're actually about 20 minutes from home is too long a time. And we've been fighting for years, and Melissa Denton, the head of special ed, Derek, who I haven't dealt with in a while, but in the past, they've all done the best that they can, and they've tried to help us, but there hasn't been the funding or availability to do this. But we need to do something. I can't keep going from downtown Westerly to pick up my daughter at school because, you know, she gets the anxiety and everything. So we're hoping that you will approve another bus or van to try and ease the amount of time because, you know, even a regular kid, you could say, hey, do your homework or do something while you have this long ride. But, you know, and then when you get stuck in traffic, too, we all know how Providence is and everything. My wife has to do it every day for work. It's way too long, and when she gets picked up, she's okay, but I just can't do that every day, pick her up from school. So I'm just hoping that you will approve that and hoping that, you know, her bus ride can get cut down somewhat to be able to get home. So that's all, but thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak for open forum? Come on up and say your name.
Hello, Amy Rodriguez, Narragansett. So I just wanted to wish you all a happy Constitution Day, and if I can, with your permission, I have pocket constitutions for all of you to celebrate today in recognition of that, if you would all be willing to accept it.
Sure, come on up.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak for open forum? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to oral reports. And we're very excited about our first one. We are kicking off the brand-new school year, and big shoes to fill from last year, but we are very, very excited to welcome and announce our student liaison for the new school year, and that is Ms. Hannah Abrams. And Hannah is here to give her first official report.
Good evening. My name is Hannah Abrams, and I am a senior at Narragansett High School, and I'm super excited to be here as the student representative this year. I'll be sharing some updates on what's been going on at the high school. This year, we've had a couple of new policies roll out. The new phone policy and the adjusted start and end times. The off and away rule for phones has been going smoothly. Students are building habits of keeping them put away, and while it has been a learning curve, most people are just getting used to it. Teachers and administrators have been consistent and understanding with enforcement, which has been helpful for all. Moving on, the new school start and end times were met with some complaints at first, like all change, but since the year began, students do not seem too bothered. The change has not had a major impact on the flow of the school day. On the activities side, fall sports are in full swing. Volleyball is 1-2 so far, football is 1-1, girls soccer is 1-1, and boys soccer is off to a strong start with 3-0. We've also had a very exciting assembly during school yesterday. We celebrated Narragansett High School teacher Sarah Dolly, who has won the Rhode Island State Teacher of the Year for 2026. The event included state-level dignitaries, including the Commissioner of Education and other state and town reps, as well as a performance from the school band. Lastly, students are already looking forward to homecoming week with the football game on October 3rd, the dance on October 4th, and the Spirit Week from the 6th to the 10th. Thank you.
I just want to say that was great, super clear, interesting, succinct, so very well done, so thank you.
Thank you.
And then my only question, oh my goodness. My only question is have they picked like colors or themes? Like do seniors get to pick, first pick of the colors for like shirts and stuff for homecoming?
Yes, I'm pretty sure seniors picked, our shirt is black and our theme is carnival.
Okay.
The final ride is what we're calling it.
Nice, clever. All right. Well,
We all like that.
that's great. Are there any other questions for Hannah? Okay, well, great job. Thank you very much. We're excited to have you here.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're on to school reports, and why don't we start with the elementary school and work our way up? So, Ms. Wilson, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you again. So our start of school has begun very smoothly. We welcomed many new 3-year-olds, approximately 50 this year. And despite the few tears, they're all coming to school with lots of enthusiasm. We welcomed our preschool families prior so they could come in and see the school at a meet and greet, meet the teacher during one of the August PD days, as well as we welcomed all of our new students for a new student tour with their parents also on those August PD days, which was super helpful just to get them acclimated and parents feeling safe and happy about their kids coming to our school. We are in the process of finishing up our back-to-school nights. We have this for each grade. We also found that this was super helpful, so the parents could come and hear from me a little bit of a presentation about district and school-wide initiatives and policies and practices, and then they go into their child's classroom and meet with the teacher, and each grade level has designed a specific PowerPoint for their grade level to share with their parents, and usually they get a little taste of some of the work that they've been doing, so that's left for them on the desk, so they usually get to see a little bit of that as well. I think we have 2 more left, so we'll be doing those next week. For enrichment and extras, we're going to continue with our morning movement, sunrise sketch, and robotics soon. In the next few weeks, we'll be starting that before school enrichment activities. And it's really a great opportunity for our parents to be able to bring their kids to school a little bit early and get some extra brain waves going prior to the day. We've also continued working on our building thinking classrooms. Our team of teachers and math coaches planned a professional development this summer, and we've organized a professional development calendar for the school year where we're going to be growing our knowledge and practice, a lot in math, but branching out into other content areas. So we're very excited about that, and that's coming from a district initiative that all of us K through 12 are working on. And I feel like our teachers have really embraced it, and hopefully you get to see some of the work that they do this year. And a really big thing, something to celebrate, I was informed last Thursday, and we got the official letter. I have a copy of it, and I'll give it to Lauren to share with you, that we were selected as let me get the name right, a National Unified Champion School by the Special Olympics. A lot from the application that we submitted last year, highlighting our Young Athletes program, our Junior Coaches program through Playworks, some of our other initiatives in making sure that all activities at our school are inclusionary and honoring all students' abilities. So we will recognize that, and we will get a banner, and we will be provided with funds for a big celebration in the spring that I hope you can all attend. We're very proud of that, and special shout out to Marianne Cook, who's retired, but she helped a lot with the application, and Patty Carasoto. So the three of us kind of worked a lot on that application and put it in, and we just heard from them this week. So we're very happy about that. And you're all welcome to join us for our Sundays on Sunday event, September 28th. If you're interested, I believe it's 4 to 6. We're always looking for scoopers, so if you're interested, come on by. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah, thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. On to the Pierce School.
Good evening, everyone. We've had a successful launch to our school year, focusing on establishing meaningful rituals and routines that create structures and belonging for our students and staff. These foundational practices are essential to creating that positive atmosphere that we really strive for and cultivating our academic excellence. Our IXL diagnostic window was just completed, and we're using the data that's come from that to support our multi-tiered system of supports meetings, which are underway now. In those meetings, we collaborate with teachers and administration and support staff to create targeted intervention supports to ensure that all students receive the appropriate level of academic and behavioral supports. Last Wednesday, we kicked off our Ruler program during our advisory period. Ruler is our social emotional curriculum and was developed by Yale University, their Center for Emotional Intelligence. So it's evidence-based, and it focuses on recognizing, understanding, labeling, expressing, and regulating emotions. So we're really thrilled that we have that off the ground for year 2. Also, during our first week of instruction, we were able to celebrate our teachers for all of their hard work. We organized a beverage cart for crushing that first week of school. Some of the beverages were like Orange Crush and Diet Cokes and seltzers and things that our staff really appreciated that, and it was great to boost the morale and just remind teachers of the good work that they're beginning and celebrating that moment. Yesterday, we held our BCI clinic for the community, which is something that is very important because we want to have our volunteers come back, and they need to have a current BCI, so we do that annually, and we'll probably be hosting another in mid-year. Earlier this week, we also had our open house. We tried a new format so that we could accommodate families with more than one student in our building. It was success, and we hope to continue that open house format moving forward because it was a little bit better with connecting with parents. We had some time for teachers to chat, and then there was a presentation, and then there was a little bit more time, and then parents could move to whatever grade level or academic area that they needed. We have our student council leadership applications out for our leadership group. Students are encouraged in 7th and 8th grade to grab those applications and get those turned in by the end of the month. And an event that's coming up for us, we have a Dine to Donate event that is being hosted by our MPS PTO at Chipotle in Wakefield on the 24th of the month. So make sure you come down and support between 5 and 9 p.m. It's a great way to just foster a relationship with that organization and a fun way to support some of the activities that they sponsor. So it looks like we're off to a strong start, and I look forward to continuing my updates to you guys.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for the peer school?
I just have one. How is the ruler program integrated into an average day?
So that's a great question. We have, there are different tools that the program provides to us, and teachers have been trained in those tools. One particular tool that we use quite frequently is called a mood meter, and it's really, it's a 4-quadrant, and each of the quadrant has emotions. So when a student would come into a classroom, they can select how they're feeling, and it could be a green emotion like happy or energetic, could be somewhere in the blue like tired, or, various different emotions. So it kind of just gives the teacher and the students some awareness around recognizing that all emotions are valid, and gives the teacher kind of an idea of what the dipstick is for the class coming in. So it's been really beneficial. We also have in our building, we have posted in every classroom and in our hallways and main areas like the gym and our cafeteria, our peer school charter. So it is something that we're trying to push out and have that be a foundation, a pillar, that's better, a pillar of, how we feel about our kids and how we should be expecting behaviors and treating others within the building. So there's just a couple of things that Ruler has done in the peer school. Yeah.
Any other questions for the peer school? All right, thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
High school.
Good evening. So we are back in action at the high school. I'm going to try not to repeat too much of what Hannah said. So the personal device and attendance policies were added this year and are going really smoothly. It's really given us the ability to have a constructive and rich conversation with students and faculty about what it means to be engaged in school, and really upping the rigor while we're there. As part of her duties as State Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Dully hosted an event on September 10th for all District Teachers of the Year from districts across Rhode Island. It was a networking event that was all her idea, and it was held in the library and catered by Barron's Ice Cream. Then following that, it was our turn to celebrate Mrs. Dully. As Hannah had already mentioned, we had an assembly with local government, the Commissioner of Education, and Mrs. Dully's family. And then we finished that off with a reception in the library where we had Michael Lohman, a student there, play piano while we were all celebrating Sarah. I just wanted to send shout outs to Julio, Steve, and Lauren for all their help with that. It was a big event and there were a lot of moving pieces, and without us operating as a team, it could have been a lot more stressful than it was. Also, I would like to shout out our CTE program. So Brian Jennings in our digital media program were able to create the video that was shown during the assembly. Meredith Ashworth and Aaron Gathin with our agriculture CTE created all the floral decorations. And then Mr. Healy and the band really did a great job keeping the pep up. And then they were also put on the spot at one point, and Mr. Healy really rose to the occasion, I would say. The counseling office has also held a senior information night yesterday. They had over 50 families attend for an important event about college and post-secondary information. They also reviewed expectations for all seniors for the end of the school year. They're going to be hosting another event next year for grades 11, 10, and 9, and that is just a meet your counselor so they can get to know their students better. To finish off this week, we have our back to school night, where we're looking forward to hosting and inviting all families from Narragansett High School. We're really looking forward to strengthening our relationships, sharing our expectations, and showcasing all the great things our school has to offer. And then, as Hannah had already mentioned, we have Spirit Week right around the corner. So with homecoming weekend coming up, we're really looking forward to having all the kids filled with Mariner pride as we move into the next month. Any questions?
Any questions for the high school?
I just have a comment. I'm really glad to hear that the cell phone policy is being implemented so smoothly. Have you seen positives in terms of students' interactions with each other as a result of the new policy?
I would say definitely. The cafeteria is noisy, like in the best way possible. I really think, and I think Hannah would back me up on this, I would say after like 3 periods on the first day, the kids really started to get in the swing of it, and you can really see them enjoying each other's company. It's really refreshing, and the teachers notice it, the kids notice it. It's just been great.
So I don't have a question, just a comment. Really, congratulations to the State Teacher of the Year, but also for all the folks who organized a really great event. So under your leadership, that was great. Saw the little blurb on Channel 12, which was outstanding, great PR. And then really nice to hear tonight how the CTE programs, like just all the different moving parts about, okay, the floral arrangements and the video, like just trying to really get all the students involved in a lot of different aspects with a real life, you know, instead of learning about digital media production, like, hey, we have a very big PR event and we want you to help promote it. So I think that's great. So a lot of hard work for everyone, and it sounds like it was an awesome event.
Yeah, it was great. It was all hands on deck, and we just functioned very well as a team, so I'm really grateful.
All right, well, thank you for your leadership with that. All right, and on to special services, Dr. Denton.
So as you've already heard from my colleagues, it's just been an amazing start to the new school year. As you learned last month, my colleague Jill Haig moved on to another district, and I just want to thank our entire leadership team. They've been so supportive in this transition for me, and a special thank you to Tracy McCallig, who's just doing an amazing job as the early childhood coordinator. We've been working very closely, doing some training together, and she's just been so involved, and I just really appreciate that. I wanted to share with you that I was given the opportunity. Not every special ed administrator in the state gets this, and I feel pretty honored that my colleague provided me this opportunity, but to speak to each faculty for an hour during our August PD days. And during that time, I was able to really stress the importance of what the IDEA special ed law means and what our roles are when we come together for an IEP meeting, so that we can make sure that we're making data-rich decisions and that we're providing opportunities for everyone to participate. I also teased them a little bit with something that I'm taking on this year of sharing the importance of teaching strategies to our students so that they can become more independent learners. And so I will continue to, my colleagues each send out a newsletter every week to their faculty. I'm going to share a new strategy every week. Our district is committed to coaching, and so this year I will be doing some coaching cycles. I think originally people thought I might be only working with special educators, but a handful of general ed teachers have asked if I would also be their coach, and so I'm very honored by that. The Narragansett Special Education Action Committee has hosted some tables at some of our open houses, and so they've interacted and shared our brochure, and we look forward to October 8th, which will be their first meeting of the year at 6 p.m. at the Narragansett Peer School. I want to join Mr. and Mrs. Flynn. I know it's not always easy to get up here and speak, but we have multiple children who need to be transported throughout the state due to whatever the needs might be. And so that makes it challenging for our operation and transportation. to be able to define the routes and make them manageable. And so they've been very patient, but I would support the recommendation that I know the superintendent and Steve Gormley will make tonight, because I know that they are trying to figure out how to make those routes shorter for our children and families. And then I need to congratulate Narragansett Elementary School. So honored that they've won this national inclusion honor. And I get emotional, and you already know that about me, so. Do you have any questions?
No, that sounds
Okay,
good.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Okay, it's a little, very early in the year, but do any school committee members have any reports to give? Probably not. Okay. CJ?
Well, just one for the upcoming weekend for the recreation for Parks and Rec, with the Endless Summer coming up this weekend. The Lions Club Gansett Days, Friday night through Sunday, down at the gazebo. So just reminding everybody about that, with Parks and Rec and a whole slew in the Lions Club. So it'll be fantastic. Bands, as we were saying, helicopter rides, and South County Museum, lots of fun activities for the kids and adults.
Good job with the weather for Friday night, too.
Well, we tried. We call that in special, so.
All right, thank you. All right, we're on to the superintendent's report.
Great, thank you. Well, our team certainly covered a lot of what I would say, so I just want to, first of all, thank our team for having a really smooth opening. I also want to recognize Steve and Julio and all the work that they did to get our schools ready to go. The schools are spotless, everything is where it should be. And as they both say, if you don't notice, it means that we did it right. And so, in both cases, all the tech is working seamlessly. The schools are in great shape. So really, there were a lot of really big projects this year. I particularly want to call attention to adding on a computer room at the high school that was, kind of done with some grant money. It is fabulous. It's really a state-of-the-art room for our computer science CTE, so we're very excited about that. We continue to work in our design for our marine professions CTE, so we are working with some potential partners to design that course, or that sequence of courses, so we're really excited about that. And then, as the principals talked about, we continue to work on our instructional practices. So we are involved in a couple of networks this year, one through the Annenberg School of Education at Brown, where we're really looking at pre-K through grade 9 math and pathways to Algebra 1, and making sure that as many students as possible have the opportunity to take high-level math before they graduate. The linchpin to that is successful completion of Algebra 1 in either 8th or 9th grade, so we're really working hard with a few other districts to do that. And second of all, we are in a network with, Narragansett, Exeter, West Greenwich, North Kingstown, and Barrington, and we are all working together on best practices in math instruction, thinking classrooms. So we have some outside expertise that helps our groups of administrators and teachers, so we're very excited about that work going forward. Finally, I also just want to acknowledge and highlight our partnership with the University of Rhode Island. So we have, I believe, between 8 and 10 student teachers with us this year. We have excellent teachers here in Narragansett. URI kind of supports that partnership by placing some really great candidates with us. It's a win-win situation where they're really getting the benefit of the mentorship of our expert teachers, and they also bring fresh and new ideas and enthusiasm and energy and an extra set of hands in our classrooms. So we have both student teachers and student interns working with us from URI across a variety of subjects and grade levels. So we're excited to really go deep in that partnership this year.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Dr. Cummings? I just have one. Sure, Diane.
Do the student teachers from URI and the interns, will they interact with our Ed Rising students?
Yes.
They will.
We had a very comprehensive opening of school between Hannah and the principals, and that's great. Any other questions for Dr. Cummings? All right, very good. Okay, thank you. On to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve consent agenda items CA1B, CA2A, CA2B, and CA2C?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. On to the budget report. Karen?
Good evening. Expenditures for the 2 months ended August 31st, 2025 total $2,985,930, and that's 8.05% of our budget. Expenditures and encumbrances total $27,216,419, and that's 73.36% of our budget.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Karen? All right, thank you. On to school committee business, item number 1. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the 25-26 FFA trip to the National FFA Convention and Expo in Indianapolis?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Thanks, Connor. So this is the trip that we make on a yearly basis. We've had some excellent experiences for our students out there. It's very well planned, very well supported. It's very affordable. They do a lot of fundraising for this trip throughout the year. And our students really get a lot of hands-on experience in some amazing competitions and really are exposed to a whole wider world of kind of interacting with students from across the country.
We have 8 students competing this year at Nationals. So our dairy products team is Elena Waters-Kitts, Addison Bonner, Gavin Jones, and Abigail Gibbs. Our extemporaneous speaker is Emma Robin. Our flag bearer is Mackenzie Martin. And then our courtesy corps is Gavin Waters-Kitts and Addison Stedman.
And what is the FFA Creed event?
That's the speaking event.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. Cummings let us know that some of the FFA kids were at the Big E for Rhode Island Day.
Yep. Yes. So we've had they've been back and forth to the Big E because there's a lot of setup. So they've been going up for a couple days now with different teams, setting those up and then taking them down.
Any of the same kids from the Big E going on this trip as well?
I think all of them. Yes,
Okay.
every single one of them are going to nationals. They spend at least one day up at the Big E.
Okay.
And they also have a mum's sale tomorrow night that they're going to be doing at the back to school night.
And do you know, I don't think I saw that in there, what grades the kids are that are going on this trip?
Yes, I do. So it's 6 12th graders, 2 10th graders, and an 11th grader.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited to hear how they do because we always usually seem to have a great, kids have a great time and have been pretty successful in placing in some of the categories. But really just a wonderful experience that I think they're always going to remember and look back on. This is a very unique club, a very unique CTE program that is pretty impressive and a very special opportunity for them.
Agreed, yeah.
Do any of the school committee members have any questions at all about the trip?
No questions.
No, as you mentioned earlier, we tend to approve this every year. In the past, they've come back with huge awards, so it's always fun to hear. And glad the kids get to look forward to this.
Yeah, no questions, but look forward to hearing the after report and how everybody does and how it's great to have these kids representing Narragansett nationally.
I know FFA members that have graduated 10 years ago, and they still talk about their experience.
Yeah, they developed quite the alumni network through this
Yes.
event too, so it's really great for them.
And you also, you mentioned there will be fundraising activities for these students. Let us know when those are, and so we can, hopefully get more people to give some money, so.
Absolutely. So the mum sale has already started, but yeah. They
You mentioned
also,
it Thursday, right?
yes, yep.
Is that going to be, when can you pick up the mums?
I think starting tomorrow, I believe.
All right.
Can swing by tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. On to item number 2, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to enter into a contract with NESDEC to perform a best educational use of school facilities study in the amount of $12,520?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Pete?
So over the summer at our school committee workshop, we had a discussion around two things. So one, fluctuations in enrollment, right? And two, our expanding CTE program and how much space they're taking in our facilities. And so at that time, the school committee directed me to reach out to a couple of organizations to see who would be most capable in conducting a best use of school facilities study. So NESDEC, New England School Development Council, does these all over New England. They have deep expertise, so they're kind of the go-to people to do this work. So I asked them to create a proposal, which you have in your packet. Essentially what they're going to do is look at not just the how many students per foot do we need type of thing, but they're going to look at our programmatic offerings, our long-term projections, our kind of what we are doing instructionally, how much space that will take, and then we'll come back with some recommendations about how to best use the available space that we have going forward, whether that means some consolidation of space within schools or across schools, whether that means what programs should go where, whether that means some reorganizing within the schools. But it's really a great first step in starting to think about, okay, as we go into the next generation of our Narragansett schools, how should we be organized and how should we make the best use of the buildings and grounds that we have available.
So Pete, the timeline in the contract says 6 to 8 months. Do you really think it's going to take that long?
In speaking with them, they do that as kind of a fail-safe. In speaking with them, they really think that they could have something, at least a draft report to us, during the winter. It does take some time because they have to visit all the schools, do some interviews, really get to know our program so that it's an accurate report.
Are we going to be the first school in Rhode Island to do this? Because I noticed in the 3 pages of references, no Rhode Island district was listed.
No one has done it in a while. They have done work in Rhode Island, and you'll notice that some of the people that they use have Rhode Island roots. So, I know I have been in a district as earlier in my career where they have done a similar study. And so in Connecticut, so they do work all over New England. It has been done in Rhode Island, but probably not for a little bit.
And Pete, are you thinking perhaps once we have the study, the report, that maybe we would schedule like a public workshop instead of just having it be an item in the regular business meeting, really kind of like unpack it as a workshop?
Yep, absolutely.
Public workshops, maybe a few town council members might be able to come if they're available. I think they'd be really interested in hearing about the report findings.
Absolutely, and I think, as we look at, our school age population, right? And that, in many ways, our school-age population is going down. I think that there are some decisions, and we've talked about this quite openly at our workshops and throughout last year and throughout budget time. I think that there are some community decisions that need to be made about how they want the schools to be organized. And this is really the first step in kind of having an informed conversation about that, because it really takes a hard look at the data and provides it in an accessible way, so we're all kind of talking from the same set of information.
Well, I think this is a great idea because you really need to bring in some people with some expertise who have done this type of work with other schools and other states to really kind of give us an objective lens and some recommendations and things to consider for kind of long-term macro planning down the road.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they send our former assistant superintendent, Judy Paolucci, down.
In speaking with them, it was actually going to be initially David DeRossi, and I believe it was, name is escaping me off the, Mary Malone were going to be doing most of the work, but I think Judy is there as a backup if they need her.
She might have some inside information.
Yes. It's been a little bit, but yes.
Yeah. Any other questions before we take a vote? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, on to item number 3. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance administration to approve FM Generator Incorporated to repair the emergency generator at Narragansett High School in the amount of $11,734.11?
Second?
Discussion.
Good evening. This one was a surprise the first day of school. So the generator is 28 years old. It's slated for replacement in 2 years. It needs substantial repair right now. I currently have a rental generator in place, but that's quite costly per week as well. So the anticipated repair is going to happen Monday. We're doing it under emergency repair right now.
So, Steve, you actually just answered the one question I had, which was if this was a surprise repair, but because I knew this generator was old, where was it in our capital plan to be replaced if it was needed?
2 years out.
But it's 2 years' time, so that already answered my question.
Do you think it'll make it?
It's a machine. I think it will. As budgets come up, we might talk about moving that up a little bit.
Sounds good.
Timing is important because we know sometimes some of the biggest closures we've had to do have been like in October with wind and
Yeah.
power lines down and everything, so.
So fortunately, we have a smaller generator in place, but it's enough to handle the emergency portion, the emergency lighting portion of it. Beyond that, would be a problem if it was cold.
Well, thank you for getting the quote and having a plan so quickly so we could vote on this tonight. Any other questions for Steve?
Just one more short one. You said the repair will go into Monday. Is that going to interrupt school any, or is it just?
No.
No.
We don't, unless there's a power outage and, they need more than emergency lighting, it would be a problem, but I don't foresee any issues.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so let's move on to our vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
On to item number 4. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to approve the purchase of emergency notification equipment from CDWG at a total cost of $202,976.25?
Second?
Discussion?
This is an extension of the phone system. These are classroom display panels that basically would put out notifications to the classroom via a digital panel. They also serve as a clock for the classroom to upgrade the clock systems within the building, and additional emergency speakers in the classrooms. This would be installed by IT, Julio and his crew, and my crew, same as the phone system, with a substantial labor savings doing it in-house.
How long do you think it'll take?
This portion isn't a emergency rush, so as we go along, we'll do probably 10 or 20 a week. So 2 to 3 months could be. It's, you know, it's a system where we can put one in a classroom and it'll function, and just, they don't have to all come online at one time.
Is this in addition to, we redid the phone system, and we are able to add this because of redoing the
Yeah.
phone system?
This is this was always planned to be additionally added in a different phase, but worked out financially that we could do it right now.
Perfect.
And is that because you guys did the
A
work?
substantial portion of it.
Yes, which we thank you for.
Any other questions before we vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. On to item number 5. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to approve the purchase of 2 student transportation vehicles from a qualified dealer in amount not to exceed $65,000?
Second.
Discussion?
These, first, I'd like to thank the Flynns and Dr. Denton, because they saved me the sales pitch on this to a degree. So we're short on small vehicles for transport out of district. These would be 2 low-mile used vehicles that we will go out to local vendors to find and hopefully get them on in service a lot quicker than having to order one.
That's right. So I'll just remind the committee and the community that the cost of subcontracting that type of transportation is exorbitant. So we would be obligated to use statewide transportation. Not only are they very difficult to schedule and their rides are often very long, they're also very expensive. And so for the cost of a van, that would be approximately just 1 month of transportation under statewide. And so while we do kind of take the cost of the driver, right, it's still financially is more prudent for us to purchase our own vehicle than to subcontract that transportation out.
Some of these contracts go out $1,000 a day, so.
Correct.
Thank you for that, because that was going to be my question, so.
What size van? How many passenger van?
We're going to see what we can get locally. Vans are very rare to be able to get, passenger vans. We're actually looking at a larger, small, like SUV type vehicle for at least one of them. And then if we can get a van, we'll do that as well. So it'd be, most SUVs are running 5 to 7 passenger. These are for these single 1 or 2 student trips to the city or Newport, wherever we travel around the state doing transportation. So, and something that has good mileage as opposed to a bus that gets 7 miles to the gallon.
So there were some changes in transportation regs late last spring after the end of the legislative session that allow us to now make this purchase. So it's not like this was always available to us. And so, I appreciate Steve and Derek and Melissa kind of thinking about all the different ways we can take best advantage of some of the changes to the regulations in order to benefit students.
So certainly the right thing to do financially, but more important, like the right thing to do for kids. Like this is really, really important. Whatever we can do to really cut down on the ride time and have control over the drivers and the monitors and stuff, because statewide, you get who you get, and it could be different people, and they could be short drivers, and then, you know, then that could add an extra hour for a child that's waiting at a school or waiting at their house. So definitely the right thing to do for kids. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we appreciate you kind of thinking out of the box, not like, well, there's a shortage of vans, so I don't know what to do. Like, you're always kind of problem solving and thinking. So right thing to do for kids, but certainly the right thing to do financially. And we're able to do this because we have control over the drivers and the monitors, where some districts don't have that. They don't have a choice. So then they're ending up, like you said, whether it's $1,000 a day or $65,000 a month. And really, you have no control over the ride times and no control over who's taking care of our kids. So I think this is great. And I appreciate, you know, families advocating and Dr. Denton advocating and figuring it out. Any other questions before we
No,
vote?
I would agree. And a typical child would feel like that's a long ride anyway, and then you add a child who has anxieties on top of that, so I
I
do
don't
feel.
disagree.
Yes, all right, thank you.
I mean, I feel it's a long ride.
Any other questions before we take a vote? Okay. All right, all good? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any communications that anyone wants to mention? Okay, so we will be back here for our October business meeting, October 15th at 7 o'clock. Is there a motion to adjourn at 7:51?
So moved.